Good morning, everybody. Oh no, they took Jaden Ivey. Don't worry, Jaden, we're gonna trade for you. Shut the up, Spike Lee. Go yourself. Troy Weaver and the Detroit Pistons, God bless you guys. I mean, that is how you operate in the draft. You've got 3 dynamic basketball players. I may take a trip to Sacramento this summer and leave a bouquet of flowers outside of their stadium because no one's gonna be going there in a few years because they absolutely suck. Good morning, everybody! Oh, shit! It was a great night last night, let me tell you.
That's going to smell in this studio today.
We have to start with Troy Weaver. Good morning, Troy Weaver. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. You've been working your ass off for over 4 or 5 months, 6 months now. Hell, since you got to Detroit, buddy. Thank you, Troy. Welcome to Detroit, Jaden Ivey, the number 5 overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft. The kid that I believe will be at least the first or the second best player to come out of this draft. I can't believe the Kings were actually dumb enough to take Keegan Murray. Oh, Terry, I mean, there's nothing that warms my heart.
It's dumb, but
It's
they
the Kings,
need a
though.
guard.
But
They've been striking out on guards for years.
They've been striking out since their existence, Terry. That's just the reality. But at the end of the day, good morning, everybody. I hope you're as happy as I am this morning. Oh, man, you traded Jeremy Grant for the 2025 Milwaukee pick. You dumped all the cap. You were able to move with the Knicks for Kemba Walker. You were able to take his cap. You're going to buy him out now. Trade up and get Jalen Duren.
Who will be a backup?
I think he'll be better than Isaiah Stewart, actually. I think he's got more potential in his offensive game. I know they compared him to Bam Adebayo. I like the Robert Williams comparison more, at least defensively. But I think he has more upside than Robert Williams. It is a great morning here in Detroit. I mean, think about it, guys. You have, at the top of the top in terms of GMs, you have Steve Yzerman, Troy Weaver, Brad Holmes, all operating at an insane level. And then there's about 5 million miles worth of dog shit and manure, and then there's Al Avila, right? So, Al Avila's in his own little cage. We don't have to acknowledge him. That's all I'm going to give him this morning. But Troy Weaver, Terry, Sadiq Bey, I would argue one of the steals of the draft in his first draft.
Absolutely.
The next draft, number 1 overall pick, doesn't miss at all. Cade Cunningham, we're all happy to have Cade in town. And you follow it up by providing Cade Cunningham exactly what he needed, which was an off-ball co-star. And I believe that's exactly what Jaden Ivey can be. You can call it nuclear athleticism. You can call him a great I don't care what you want to call him. He's a goddamn athlete. And not only is he an athlete, he can handle the ball. He'll get better as a shooter, naturally. And boy, can he attack the basket. And that is going to help this team so much in transition this season, Terry. I'm happy.
Here's the frustrating thing. When Stan Van Gundy was coach and / general manager, if Troy Weaver was the general manager and they just let Stan coach, Pistons would be a playoff contender now. Because then I don't think he would have missed on Devin Booker. He wouldn't have looked at some of these other players and pass on them. He would have had 3 more years to work his magic. Now, every time there's a draft or a free agent period, this man does things that A, you never thought he would do, B, would never be able to pull off. He's creative, and that's important. And you messed me up because I had a question for you. Here in Detroit, we have 3 very innovative, forward-thinking general managers in this town. Who's the 4th?
That's a good question.
This should be a layup for you.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to acknowledge that question.
Come on, dude.
That fat bum, I'm not going to acknowledge him.
Okay. That's the answer. The fat bum is the...
You can call him I mean, you have to remember, everybody around Major League Baseball absolutely loves Al Avila because they know they can just fleece him every time they trade. And I'm sorry, Troy Weaver You need to be fortunate sometimes. Penei Sewell, I brought this argument up 3-4 weeks ago. Penei Sewell doesn't typically fall to 7 in a standard NFL draft. That doesn't happen. He goes top 3 most years. You need to be fortunate. You have to be fortunate to land an Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. That's fortunate. And also good scouting and great work by everybody in the front office over at the Detroit Lions. Great job. You need to be fortunate to the balls just land your way and you get Cade Cunningham number 1 overall. You need to be fortunate that nobody sees the talent that you see in Sadiq Bey. You need to be fortunate that the Kings were picking ahead of you this year so that you can land Jaden Ivey. I absolutely cannot.
If it had been anybody else, Jaden Ivey wouldn't be here.
Jaden Ivey's not there. If Indiana, any of those teams, 6 through 10 are picking at 4, they all go for Jaden Ivey. The Knicks, they were crying last night. Oh, my God. Did you see Spike Lee?
I saw that.
Oh, no. Oh, no. They took Jaden Ivey. Don't worry, Jaden. We're going to trade for you. Shut the fuck up, Spike Lee. Go fuck yourself. He's coming to Detroit, buddy.
Spike Lee was trying to make another movie, Do the Right Thing, and come to New York. But that wasn't working. But, the Knicks, man, to their credit, we talked about them being a bad organization. But they did everything they could to get Jaden Ivey, even after the Pistons picked him. So if the Knicks got their way, the Pistons wouldn't have Jaden Ivey. They'd have the center from Memphis, and that's it.
And that's it.
So Troy Weaver's like, the hell with that. We're going to get them both.
Damn right.
And we're not giving you a damn thing.
And look, they don't both need to hit. You can miss on players. I am not talking about, they're both hits. The Hall of Famer. No. That's not the point this morning, Terry. The point is you have a GM that is confident enough to make moves that don't hurt your franchise. It hurts the Knicks. It hurts Charlotte. Charlotte should go back to being the Bobcats. Michael Jordan, I absolutely love you. You are the greatest basketball player of all time. You will have to be one of the worst owners in all of the NBA. I mean, you're putting up competition with Dolan out in New York.
Did you hear what Michael Jordan said?
I did not.
When this is back in the day.
Oh, excuse me.
When he traded, when he got Jerry Stackhouse and the Pistons traded for Rip Hamilton.
What is that?
Lord have mercy. Here, I'll give him some history later.
You've never experienced this, Adham.
No, I haven't. I have not. No, but when the Pistons and the Bobcats traded Jerry Stackhouse for Rip Hamilton, you know what Michael Jordan told his boys? He said, I like Joe Dumars, but I just fleeced him.
Psych! Oh, man, I'm enjoying myself this morning. Jaden Ivey, number 5 overall. They trade up. They get Duren at 13. It was a great haul. And you know what's funny? I know it's easy to say this after the draft. But let's be honest. Ivey wasn't there. The rumors and the reports and the discussion in the building was that they were willing they were willing to make a pick at 5 that would have been for Jalen Duren. That's something.
Right.
So the guy you thought, worst case scenario, we're just going to take our guy. We don't want to chance it. We're going to grab him at 5. You ended up getting at 13. Meanwhile, you got the best player that could have been available to you, Detroit. Again, we need to do a round of applause this morning. Round of applause for Troy Weaver. Troy Weaver and the Detroit Pistons. God bless you guys. I mean, that is how you operate in the draft. And look, again, you're going to make mistakes as a GM. But you don't make mistakes for 8 straight years like some fat fuck out in Comerica Park who shares an office with the janitor because that's how stupid he is.
He does not have his own office.
I know. When you told me that, I was pretty happy.
I think we should call Troy Weaver Houdini. I know some people want to call him the Dream Weaver. But like you said, he makes magic happen.
Damn right he makes magic happen. That's my guy. Troy Weaver, I love you. We gotta get Troy on the show next week. We're gonna make that happen. My God, Troy, you beautiful thing.
Hey, there's someone on the network that knows how to get Troy Weaver.
Yeah, I already made the contact last night. Don't worry.
Good.
Don't worry. We're gonna make that happen.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah.
That might not have been a smart move by you last night.
Well, we're not talking about what I did last night, so this is about what the Pistons did last night, and they absolutely home run A++ draft. And again, Brad Holmes just did this not too long ago. April 28th was the NFL draft. You didn't think you'd get Aiden Hutchinson. You did. You couldn't believe you traded up 20 spots in the NFL draft to get Jamison Williams for basically swap picks and a third-round pick. And you did.
But didn't the Pistons and the Lions pretty much do the same thing? They got a guy that you didn't expect to be there, or somebody had to screw up for him to be there. That's A. B, you had to do some creative, wacky stuff to get what might be very key piece for your team. So the Lions did it, and so the Pistons came around and did the same thing.
Damn right they did.
Terry's so concerned looking at you. It's hilarious.
I'm trying to get the right look for him. I'm going to take a picture of him.
Good morning. Good morning, Terry. I have not had this good of a morning in a minute. Starting five. Cade Cunningham. Jaden Ivey. Saddiq Bey. Forget 4 in the 5. Whether it's Bagley, Ayton, Duran. Forget it for a minute.
What's going to be...
You've got 3 dynamic basketball players. One, I could argue, in the future will be regarded as one of the most selfless superstars. Like we mentioned Duncan, like we mentioned Curry. I believe Cade Cunningham has that type of mindset. You have Saddiq Bey, who's proven when Jeremy Grant was off the court last year, was a certified bucket. And then you have Jaden Ivey, who I believe, again, will be the second, best case scenario, the best player to come out of this draft. Hyper athletic. He will develop as a shooter. He's not a poor shooter like everybody wants to make him out to be. The Kings are going to regret it. And I promise you, either Orlando or Oklahoma City are going to regret it. Houston's very happy this morning, as they should. Jabari Smith to fall to number 3. Look, I don't know how you guys feel. I'm big on what does your interview look like? What does your post-draft interview look like? And when you sit there and show the raw emotion that Jaden Ivey showed, yes, I'm sure it all tugged a little bit at the heart. But that's a guy that wants it. That's a guy, I don't have to question what he's doing in the summer. That's a guy, him and Jabari Smith, I think, are the 2 most mature prospects to come out in the top 5 this year. Chet needs a minute. Paolo, I'm really not sure with Paolo. Number 1 overall pick, wasn't expecting that. But Detroit, to get Jaden Ivey at 5, we all wished it. We all tried to speak it into existence. You just had a gut feeling it's probably not going to happen. There's no team stupid enough to let Ivy go past 4. But let me introduce you to one of the worst franchises in all of professional sports. They're really up there with the Detroit Lions prior to Brad Holmes, and that's the Sacramento Kings. So everybody, round of applause this morning for the Sacramento Kings. I may take a trip to Sacramento this summer and leave a bouquet of flowers outside of their stadium, because no one's going to be going there in a few years because they absolutely suck.
If you do go to Sacramento, you will not have a good time.
Oh, I know. It's an awful city.
Yeah.
I've been to Sacramento before, actually.
It was one of those cities where we didn't leave the hotel when we went there.
Oh, Terry.
No, it wasn't like that. It was just, there was nowhere to go.